Hello, we're going to look at using case-when functions in ICRW. So we'll go ahead and pull up ICRW and we'll make a new report. And I'll use the GL entry table for today. So I'm going to quickly add in some columns for us to use. So if you're not familiar with case-when functions, they're very similar to if functions in Excel, where you say, if this scenario is true, or when the scenario is true, then we want this result. Otherwise, we want that result. So excuse me while I'm just pulling in. Project. Account. Amount. And I'll throw in project name too. All right, so here we have some data to work with. Let's rearrange. So that's cool. I can see the project and then the different total amounts hitting each GL account. Now this is nice, but I want to view it out a little differently. I want to see how much is hitting for our cost of sales. Maybe I want to see the total revenue. And I don't want it displayed maybe exactly like this. So I'm going to go ahead and first move the account out of there. And then we have the amount. So this is total hitting all of the GL accounts. But again, that's not too helpful, especially now because I don't even know what account it's hitting. So I'm going to get that out there too. So first, let's say I want to see the total job cost to date. Well, that's when our case-when function will come in handy. So I'll go ahead and click on this ruler. And I'll call this column job costs. And then I'll start typing my case-when function. So just to make it a little visually easier, I'm going to type it out. And what it's saying is case when this condition is true. So when, let's say, condition 1 is true, then we want result 1. But if condition 1 isn't true, then we want result 2, and then end. So I want to look at my job cost to date. So those are all of my cost of sales accounts. So in here, I'm going to put case when quick start category, so the GL account category, like, and then single quote, cost of sales, single quote. So what this is saying is when the quick start category is like cost of sales, like it has cost of sales written like that in it, then we're going to return result 1. And that will simply be our GL entry amount. So next we have else. So if it doesn't have cost of sales in the category, well, then we want to return 0 because we're trying to isolate the job cost right now. So I'll just put that and then end. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And it's showing all zeros right now. It's just pulling that initial amount. There are 2 ways you can solve this. You can click on the cog and go to aggregation rule. And the default isn't summing it together. So instead, I'm going to choose sum. And now we can see the total job costs. And I'm going to quickly just make that a little prettier to look at. The other way you could solve this is by just including it in the formula, because yeah, it's sum, then it will default to using sum. So we'll say sum, we'll enter in that formula, and then we want to specify this is by our project ID. Call this job costs V2. This is simply for display, just to show off different ways to solve this. And there we go. Now we have the same values side by side. Once again, I can quickly go to the column properties and make it a little prettier. So that's pretty simple case when formula. You can also get a little more complex. You can combine other formulas and you can break it out more than I just did. So for example, let's look at our projects. We have some from 2022, which we know because they start with 22. Some from 23, which we know because they start from 23 with 23. Some from 24, and some from 25. And then we got these other ones. So I'm going to actually create a formula to say, okay, what year is the project from? Once again, I'll click on here, the little ruler. I'll say project year. So now I'm going to say case when left of the project 2 equals 22. Then 2022. And from here, I'm going to do this for 23, 24, 25. So a quick way to do that is I'll just copy this whole line. I'll click return a couple times. And then I can just update these values. So 22, 23. Now lastly, we had some that started with 99 or some that started with a different value. So I have all the years specified. For those other ones, I'm going to say those are my overhead projects. So I'll say else overhead, and then that's the end of my function. So there we go. We have a case when function with multiple different options. So if you want to make this little convenient, what you can do is you can change this to a section table, or I'm going to go ahead and make it a prompt up here. So then you can filter on all your projects one at a time and see the different job costs. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add totals at the bottom of the table. And we can go ahead and hide our extra one. But there we go. With a couple case when formulas, we can segregate the project year and then pull in specifically the job cost for each job in ICRW.